Hello and welcome to a very special first issues. Why is it special? Well, because one, we are doing this semi-live, and two, I, the fantastic, the great and powerful Archivist, is here with a Swiftee in their natural habitat. My bedroom. Wait. So, say hi.
Hi, I'm Courtney.
And are you in fact a Taylor Swift fan?
I am indeed.
So, that is why we are going to be covering Fame, Taylor Swift #1, written by C.W. Cook and P.R. McCormick, and art by Eric Adrian Marquez. So, as usual, let's talk about the premise. There is not one.
Very generic bio.
Very good. It is really generically bullet pointy, bare bones.
More like just achievements, not tiptoe around the fact that she has a support group and what might make her, but they don't dive into it the way they could to give her a heart.
That's
actually represent Taylor Swift.
And that's actually a very good way to put it. They don't showcase a heart and, this is the most, every cliche you can think of that, this is how I rose to being a pop superstar. We loved and supported our daughter. Awesome. That's in there. In the most bare bones way, not even a show of anything.
Of how they were supportive for her.
The most interesting thing is they bring up the Kanye, now I'm gonna let you finish, but Beyonce had the greatest video of all time moment. And to me, I do kind of love that. But that should not be the most interesting thing when you're talking about the life of someone.
Yeah, but me as a Swiftee, I thought the most interesting thing was that I had never known that she was on
Saturday Night
Live. Yeah. Or that she hosted it. Well, I knew that she went on as a guest once, but I did not know that she ever went back and hosted it.
Neither did I. And we will probably go back and watch that at some point. But yeah, so do you feel that they missed out on anything that could have really made this book interesting to both Swifties and us regular people?
Oh my god, yes. There's so many aspects of her life that I would have added into it. Even starting from the very beginning about her parents. Her mom being not only her biggest fan, literally, and going everywhere with her, but being Taylor Swift's words, her best friend. That alone warms my heart. I want to be my child's best friend.
Anything else?
Her father on the financial and business side is like a life guru for her, and helping her out with saving and that aspect of her business or her career.
You have a lot of this stuff written down, don't you?
Yes, I have. I wrote down my thoughts because when all these things from what I've heard about Taylor Swift and read all popped into my mind. And all this stuff shows Taylor Swift's heart and makes her relatable, which the comic completely skipped over.
From what you were telling me earlier, that she actually grew up on a Christmas tree farm.
She did.
That is interesting, and that would be something I would put into a comic book, because think of the visualization they could have done with that. And that's...
Yeah.
But you were also telling me, I can't remember right now, tell me about the grasshopper story you were saying should totally have...
Well, her job was, at the time, to pick the praying mantises, the grasshoppers, off of the Christmas trees. One year, she forgot or neglected to do it, and the tree was sent home to a family, and they had, an infestation of grasshoppers or, praying mantises. I can't remember which.
Basically just bugs.
Yeah.
See, that is something that's awesome to me.
Yeah. That mistake, I want to say, rounded her a little bit.
Right, because now it's, okay, I understand if I do something wrong. I think that's actually
something... It was a great life lesson for her that I feel kind of flows into her career. And
it is, and I think that's something... 2 writers were on this book, and they made it so bland and run-on sentencey. Because I noticed that a lot of their narration boxes were 1 sentence. But they had 5 different times where they could have gone, period, now here's another sentence, or everything like that.
Writing-wise, the only part I felt like kind of interested in the way they wrote it is, they were saying, I can't even remember what, but they're all, and this led up to her becoming a ... next frame, star.
Yeah,
That was the only fun part of the writing. There should have been more of that, and...
As someone who's read a lot of action comics, I'm always perturbed when a comic bores me. I could have gotten more fun reading her Wikipedia page.
Yeah, sadly.
Or talking to one of her fans. Before we forget,
Oh my god, the art.
I think I have to be ambivalent about this art. It does have the sketchy style that I like, but it's done so lazily and haphazardly that it comes off as ugly. Very, very ugly.
Very ugly at times.
And even when she's holding up one of her albums, directly into frame, it's a full splash page, so it's not like it's a good, decent size. The artist, no offense, Eric Adrian Marquez, but you cannot do human likenesses. You cannot...
Only half the time, and it looks like you were, like, tracing a real picture and then added squiggles.
And that's really it. That's what I'm talking about is, she's holding up the Taylor Swift album cover that is just Taylor Swift's face, hi, I'm Taylor Swift, or...
The actual album. Yeah. Her face looks halfway decent, and then...
Well, the thing is that her face looks okay because of coloring. Anyone who would try passing this off as fan art, that would work. But you are being paid, and if the writing from that's gonna always bug me, is that two writers couldn't make something interesting.
Yeah.
But on a visual level, if you know that, this, okay, here's where the book's gonna be, okay, it's literally just some bullet points of then you need to up your art game to make it visually appealing.
Yeah.
Because honestly, if this was at least visually appealing, then it would totally be worthy for any Swiftee to buy, because yes, they probably know all of these milestone accomplishments, but visually it would have been, wow, that's at least really cool to look at.
It was honestly disappointing as a Swiftee, the art was. Though I do love the version of her as Supergirl at the end. That just warms my heart, especially because she has a song called Superman. I just thought ties well together.
And I think it does, because from what I've heard, Taylor Swift has done a lot of charity work.
She has.
Even on her birthday. That was actually something I learned in the comic. That,
yes.
On her birthday she gave out $250,000. Anyways, so I guess we've lollygagged enough. Do you have anything else you need to say?
Well, there are other things that I would have added. Like, I can't remember if the comic hit it or not, but when she was 14, she was actually writing songs for other people at the time. And her favorite number's 13. I mean, that should have been somewhere in the comic there. That could have been fun.
Even as an Easter egg, it should have been in the comic. Just on a...
Even as a picture or something, because that was, in the beginning, her biggest thing. And her heart sign,
Okay, that heart sign is not hers.
It shows her personality, and the comic should have done that.
That's a fair point. In fact, that would have looked really cool as a cover. Don't get me wrong, this person, as you can see on the cover that we're showing you, looks mildly like Taylor Swift, but, there could have been more. However, I think that was a glaring thing they missed, because that would have been part of her career. I knew she was a songwriter before she actually got to sing.
Yeah.
Because I remember that was a lot of... What?
Yeah. 200 songs before she started.
Well, yes, but those are probably songs that she had written for herself, not for other people.
Yes.
Whereas I know she started out as a songwriter, who then transitioned into being in front of the mic.
As a child, she was coming home and singing whole Disney movie for...
Yes, we've all been doing that since we were 3.
But apparently that is...
A standard.
It's not a standard, because singing the whole song after singing it once.
Yes!
Singing it once.
Excuse me, I was singing...
But that's apparently a child prodigy to a lot of Americans.
Yes, we get it. I'm 14 days older than her, and I am worth a box of comics and a pack of Tic Tacs.
Stop. Anyway, back to Taylor Swift. She also
Hold
wrote
on.
a 350-page novel at the age of 12.
I drew over 120 comic books of Batmouse.
Yes.
That does not mean...
I'm not trying to compare you two, okay?
I'm comparing us because every little detail about her life could not be fit into 20 pages.
Oh,
we
God,
can
no.
all understand that. As a Swiftie who... What do you think? Should other people go out and buy it?
Buy it? Probably not, but if you can find it for free, give it a read. So if you have to pay more than a couple bucks for it, skip it. But if you do get the chance to read it, as a Swiftie, I'd like to know your thoughts. If the bare bones information for a bio comic is acceptable for you, or if you had things you would have added. I'd like to know others' opinions.
Me? Now it's time for me to put on my brainy specs. Here, I'm borrowing yours for a second. I know I'm not on camera, but I just stole her glasses to put them on. And now I'm blind. Okay. But seriously, my verdict for this, as a comic reader and someone who only knows Pop Taylor, as you've called her, yes.
You didn't embrace any of the countryside.
Excuse me.
When you were talking
I
about
was
her, you acted like you didn't know her countryside.
No, I was deep into her. I'm not finishing that sentence. I was listening to country when Taylor started. I saw her rise through the pop charts and everything. Or the country charts, and then the pop charts. Yes, I actually think that on a musical level, her on an acoustic guitar sounds so much better than 90% of the stuff that's on. Her Drops of Jupiter cover is phenomenal. But I'm talking as a comic book reader now. I think that this comic is terrible. Now, I know, and I'm gonna say my verdict isn't a skip it, it is an ignore it. Pretend it doesn't exist, because frankly, if you are a Swiftie, I think a lot of people are gonna come similar to you, where it's gonna be
very disappointing.
Exactly. Oh man, a comic about Taylor Swift. Even if it's a biography, it's gonna be something, interesting and engaging for fans. Mm-hmm. Because when you're writing a comic, generally you go two ways. It can either be for fans or to bring people into the fandom. Mm-hmm. And you've brought me into the fandom just by saying, oh man, they should have added that grasshopper story, or that she was a writer since this, or this, that, and everything else. Everything that you've wanted to bring in has made me more interested in Taylor Swift as a person than this comic ever could. So with that said, I feel sorry for Swifties for having this as their comic for Taylor Swift.
I agree. I have to agree.
And I'm actually going, because I'm so riled up, if this video gets 10,000, no, you know what, 5,000, I will personally write an actual graphic novel, a full-on thing of Taylor Swift's life, biography, whatever you want to call it. I will write it, and I'm sorry my art's probably going to be as bad as Adrian Marquez's, but I will draw it. I will make a comic that Swifties will like. I will make a comic that Taylor Swift will go, this one doesn't kind of insult everything I've done as a person. Either way.
You can tell Taylor had no involvement in this comic.
Oh no, I think she would have. I would like to have actually see what Taylor Swift.
She would have put her heart in there. Her magazines will give you an idea of that. Anyway.
She has magazines?
Yes, she has
magazines. Is she the Oprah of the pop world?
One might say.
So on that bombshell and me kind of having a meltdown about how I feel sorry for Taylor Swift because this is the comic with her name on it.
Yeah, it's
I would even prefer, I'm going to go into a little bit of a rant now, or not a rant, but Rod Stewart had a comic book. Rod Stewart's I'll let you listen to him after this. He was a musician. Older, yeah. He was older?
Yes.
Oh my, anyways, country, think of him as Taylor Swift before men didn't wear mullets. Okay? In his comic that my sister got when her and my mom went to one of his things, He's abducted by aliens. The book still gives a biography of who he is, but dude gets abducted by aliens and has an adventure that way. To me, if Rod Stewart could get abducted by aliens and have an interesting biocomic, Taylor Swift is easy to do. Please note, after an argument with my sister, clearly I meant to say Marty Stewart, not Rod Stewart. Yes, I apologize. And yes, I'm telling my sister she's correct. Good on you, sis. Lousy.
I even envisioned it.
Even turn around and make it just the Bad Blood music video as a comic.
Well, this was before that.
Okay, that is a fair point. This came out in 2012, I think.
Yes.
2010 or 2012. So we're ending the video now. And that is all for today. If you did like this video, thought it was entertaining, if you agree or disagree with either of us about the comic, please let us know in the comments below. While you're there, let us know what you guys would like to see more of. You know, maybe the famed Lady Gaga comic. And I'd even bring in Courtney for that one. If you guys want. I like doing these live things because I feel like I'm more energetic. And also, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and please look at our Patreon. And with that said, I'm the Comic Archivist.
I'm Courtney.
And stay golden, Inklings.
But I got a blank space, baby, and I'll write your name